Well, hello there, everybody. Hello there, Angela. How are you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. Well, everybody, welcome to another edition with the one and only Angela. Nice to see you, Angela. So, what's been going on with you?
Oh, I just had a psychic fair. Not a psychic fair, but rather at a. Actually, it wasn't a psychic fair. It was the Village Viking Festival up in Burton, Ohio. I was there for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, doing readings there. Sunday, well, Saturday was a bit of a washout because we did have a lot of rain and it was a bit cold. Sunday was much better. I was able to get some readings for people there, and one of my readings I was doing for a lady. She picked up who it was right away because this man that came through, I was picking up an older gentleman, and I was telling about the era that around he died in, and I picked up on his wife, and he made the comment, "Wow, it sure is peaceful around here since my wife passed on," and
Ah,
because she talked a lot, he loved her, but she talked a lot, and he said, "Oh, I know who that is," and she had a great uncle, and I also got the impression that he was uncle, great uncle, and that's who he turned out to be. He also showed me a car. Now the thing is, I saw the car right in my third eye. I didn't see it anywhere else. But then I looked on my phone. I was going to search for the car, and the car was already showed up on my memories. But I'd never taken a picture of this car. But it was on my cell phone in my memories. I can't explain it. It was like him coming across, showing what car that he had. And I'm sure she'll come across it, and when she finds some photos, there's probably a photo of him with that car that he had at
right.
one point, probably in his younger days, because it was more of a sporty type of a car, probably from, I'm gonna say probably around the either late 50s, early 60s. And
Wow.
yeah, it was really interesting. It just showed up on my phone. It was so weird. And it was a very positive experience. I met some old friends from Columbus when I did Mystic and Marvels that were there. I was always loved seeing them again. And this weekend, I'm going to be at the Gift of Light Expo down in Cincinnati area near Kings Island in Warren County Fairgrounds. Come see me there from about, I think it's going from about 11 to about 4 or 5, or even to 6. I think it's 11 to 6. And Saturday and Sundays, that's the 2-day event in Warren County Fairgrounds, Gift of Light Expo. Come down and see me. And then the following weekend, sign up for Hidden Marietta for a psychic session with me at the Anchorage Mansion in Marietta, Ohio. And then the following weekend in Martinsburg, the Wellness Fair, the Wellness Psychic Fair in Martinsburg, Ohio. Be there for that. So it's a busy May.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, as we're doing the show, if you want a rune reading and maybe a pull a card, just say I do as we were speaking, and I'll go ahead and put you in line throughout the show. That's really awesome, Angela. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, we got back from Wisconsin, and it was great. We had a good show there, and I can't complain at all. So can't complain. And we didn't get any cheese. Can you believe that?
No cheese. You're in
No
Wisconsin
cheese.
to get cheese. What is wrong? It's like
I
that's
know we were so tired and everything. So yeah. Good evening, Cassie and Chris Al and Dow and Nilda. Everybody that's tuning in for the show. Nice to see everybody. And everybody that's watching and on the side and the replay. Make sure you subscribe, like, and join us and share it out. It really helps out the algorithm and stuff. And thank you for joining. So yeah, we got another event coming up in Peru, Indiana this weekend. So it should be a good show. A lot of people are waiting for us to show up. So yeah, it's great. So
that's
yeah,
awesome. I'm
here we
offering
are.
it. Yep, I'm offering it. Where I could do a 15-minute session with you with the portrait and everything in about 15 minutes, just a quick one. Doing that over Messenger over video call. I did that for the first time this past week, and it went really well. It was well
Good.
validated. And I have the finished painting when I see her at the Martinsburg fair. I could drop that off, and then the other one was at the $200 one where I spent 2 weeks with your energy and with your guides. And I go over a very detailed painting. And it's acrylic instead of chalk, so it's going to be longer lasting, more details. And I print out a full report of everything I got. And plus, I do a rune reading, and that's very, very detailed. And then I'll print out for that, and I'll ship the painting and the reports I send you, and I'll have it all in one print just shipped out to you. Now
Oh,
that's
that's awesome. That really is. That's awesome.
of
It
course you can
really is.
always, and it's free here for the rune reading. So if you want a reading and get in line, I'll be glad to do a reading for you if you
Yeah,
get.
ladies and gentlemen, what she's doing is just a sample of what she's capable of doing. You got to reach out to her and try her. I have been doing a lot of readings at some of these events, and I have a lot of people very happy. I'm kind of weary about doing readings in public, but Mary uh, talked me into doing some of it, and it's weird, right? Doing it for people because I don't like reading people's energy because it's very draining for me. It really wears me out. So, but I think we got a lot of feedback, didn't we, Mary? So I guess I'll continue to do that from time to time. But I don't know how you do it all day long like that, Angela. That's wild.
And the first time I did it, I was at the Odyssey Expo and around Columbus, and it was a big event. And I started readings at what was it? Started at as soon as I almost could have finished setting up. I had a line there, and it was early. It was like 8 a.m., and I went all the way to 7:30 at night.
Ooh,
And it was loud
yeah.
because they had extreme performers on a stage, like right in front of me. And the extreme perform, they're doing their thing. They're doing, contortion performance and doing stunts, like hammering a nail through your head and that type of thing in front of me. And so they had a crowd, and it got very loud in there. But there were people um, that were very, very moved, and because I was all I care about was tuning in the spirits and relaying what they were given. And even in that loud environment, the spirits came through loud and clear, and people were um, quite amazed. And one woman was very, very touched, and she started crying because I was channeling her grandmother. Her grandmother just walked into me and was talking to her, and it was an amazing experience. And even in spite of the noise and the loud, and I mean, I was tired at the end of the day, but I felt so fulfilled and so wonderful and energized at the same time, because the spirits that were coming through, that who were coming through out of love, they were coming through and with so positive messages of encouragement and connection, and it was just such a blessing to be part of it.
It is. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that really is. It's interesting because the people you meet and stuff,
Hmm.
it's just like some of the people we met, it's hard to let people know about certain things about themselves, especially when their loved ones are there.
Right.
You're like, I don't know how to say this. I think I told one girl that one mother, she was pregnant, didn't I? Yeah, Mary said that was a couple of weeks ago. And I let it slip that they were having a baby. Then the next couple I had, I knew she was pregnant, but they weren't married, and I was like, "Oh no, does he know or does she know?" And so I did the reading, and you know how hard it is not to divulge stuff like that.
Right. It's hard. It's really hard.
It is, but anyways, during the reading, it actually came out. She came out and said that she was pregnant. I was like, "Oh, thank God." It's it's hard not to divulge certain stuff because do they know? Does he know? Do they both know?
Hmm.
So, but you just got to be careful with stuff like that.
I
So,
know there was one reading I was doing, and I was describing this spirit that was coming through for this little boy that they had. And I was getting the man, the grandfather. He said he came from, his family came from South Texas originally, back when Mexico, back before Texas and Mexico, back before Texas was a state, and it was just Mexico, right? Mexico kind of went up further up, and it was this
right.
that part of, and they had a farm that covered it both sides. They started talking about his background, and she says, hang on, wait a minute. And so she took me aside, and and I was relaying what I was picking up. The grandfather was Hispanic, right? They haven't told their son that there's this child that he's Hispanic and that his father was actually Hispanic, and they had adopted him because the father had left him, the biological father, but the grandfather of the biological father is there for this boy,
Oh,
and
wow.
the grandfather talks to this boy. The grandfather would talk to him at night, and she said that has to be the case because there are things he could not have known, but how somehow he wakes up in the morning and gets this information, and he's had a conversation with somebody, and he couldn't have possibly known that. Well, I'm explaining, like, well, he knows where he's come from because his grandfather of the biological father is coming through and talking to the little boy, and just loves this little boy, and so he did not know that he was adopted. But I feel like deep down he knew, but he wasn't. His parents know that he knew because the grandfather, um, the deceased grandfather of the biological father, was coming through and giving all this information and sharing it. It was with joy that he shared it. So I try to leave certain things out and not hint to the child that he's adopted, And I just like, well, he's got a mustache. His skin is like yours, and he used to have some farmland in Texas, what is now Texas. And
Right.
it just went from there. But yeah, but she, but the mother's eyes got really big. He's like, oh my gosh, he's gonna know, he's he's gonna figure out that he's adopted. But yeah, so I mean, he's with the perfect parents now, but it's just his biological grandfather coming through like that and just comforting that little boy and being there for him, and just being wonderful. It was a great experience.
That's awesome. All right. Let's see here. Dow Dow wants a general reading.
Okay, Dow Dow. Let's see what's going on, Dow Dow. Okay, so the first rune I got for you, this is Tiva. So this is the rune of victory, oath, promise. It's also pointing northwards towards the North Star. And what I'm getting is that pointing towards the pole star, like pointing towards the star, that meaning pointing to the spirit world. Like you are directly in line with the spirit world, and to look up. It's like look to the spirit world. The next rune I've got here is Othala. So Othala is human destiny. Collective destiny is also family DNA. Uh, what I'm getting off of this has something to do with your destiny and how your individual destiny plays in with the collective destiny of all. I get the impression like I'm getting a message across, like you need to seek the spirit world and just ask the spirit world to come forth with your purposes and your meaning here and show you what your role is here and how that fits in the collective human destiny. The next rune I got is Urus. So Urus is the rune of strength. This is actually represents iron. It's also going to be the drizzling rain. And what I'm getting off of this for this rune is that you'll be given strength. It's like you'll need strength to comprehend what the information that you'll be given, the revelation that you'll be giving, because it's a bit breathtaking when you find out what the spirit world wants you to know. But you'll be given strength to accomplish what you need to do. You have that support there with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I drew a moon face card, and it's called the Void of Course Moon. And what that represents is that there is something missing in life that we need to go back and ascertain and try to regain. I don't know if it's something that you have done and missed out on or a missed opportunity, but it seems like it's going to circle back. That card don't come up very often. And with that information, I feel like there is a burden on your heart that needs to be resolved. Uh, I think you've been kind of putting it off for a while, but now's the opportunity with the new moon for new starts and new changes and getting on the correct path. I keep asking, but that makes sense. I'm not going to go too personal on that because we're on air, but just I think you know what I'm talking about. So Godspeed. Hopefully, it gives you some peace. All right, here. Next up, let's see here. We have Kathy. Kathy A.
All right, Kathy, let's see what comes up here for you. Kathy A. So what first rune I got here for you is Feiyu. So Feiyu is the cow. It's also money. And what I'm seeing is like it feels like money is a concern of yours, but I'm being told you don't have to be too worried about it. It feels like it's already been taken care of in your immediate future. It feels like you're a little concerned. Will I have what I need to handle my most immediate needs in the future? Will I be okay? And this rune is saying, yeah, you'll be fine. That's already been handled for you on the other side. So it's already been prepared for you. The next rune I got is Gabo. So Gabo is gift, right? You see that exchange there, right? There's a gratitude, there's a giving, and there's also gratitude there. So with Gabo, which I'm getting the sense of, yes, there's the knowledge, there's a gift. This is a gift. So acknowledge and be grateful for that gift. So I feel like there is something coming down for you, something coming for you, um, some recognition. The next rune, Rytho. So Rytho is a journey of the sun. It means honor. It means taking the right action. And I'm getting with this rune that you're on the right path. It's like you've decided to, even though it's very hard, to stand your ground and stick to what you believe in and to follow that path. And that is being something that's something that's being recognized, that's being acknowledged on the other side. So the other side has already taken care of your finances for you, okay, as a gift coming up for you. So it's a very good reading. And thank you for sticking by your conscience because the spirit world is rewarding you for this. And this is part of that reward, that gift.
Yeah, it's interesting because as you were talking, I drew a card. Hello, Teresa White. Nice to see you. Yeah, I add you to the list. Thank you, ma'am. Is the card I drew was Jupiter return. And when Jupiter, if I hold it in front of my face, it's hard to see with the screen. But, anyways, when Jupiter returns, it's talking about benefits, regaining a lot of stuff that you may not have or lost. But it's also a time to rekindle. And it seems like what I'm picking up with you is that there are some things that have been unresolved that need some attention. So I'm going to stop there with that. Hopefully, it brings you some peace and everything and helps you out some. Really does. Yeah, that's pretty spot on with yours. Interesting. Let's see here. Next up, Nilda. Nilda says, I do. I would like to know who was trying to get my attention on Saturday. I heard a voice. My candle flickered and crackled. Thank you.
Now, then, let's see who was trying to get your attention. Okay. I'm picking up on the male. The very first thing I picked up was the male. The first rune I get is Feiyu, which is money. Um, so I'm getting a male. I'm picking up on a male for you. But I'm picking up also I pick up the rune. I got a couple other runes here. The first rune I got, next rune I got was Othala. And then the rune after that, Noddies. So Othala usually means family, and Noddies usually means either love, passion, but also need or emergency. It's that kind of there's a crisis or something that's going on and it needs to be paid attention to. But I feel a male is trying to reach out to his family through you. It feels like he had lived close by and has passed fairly recently, and he's trying to reach out to his family through you, knowing that you would listen, right? That you wouldn't ignore what he's trying to say. But I feel like he's a um, recent passing, and he's trying to reach out to you. It sounds about some sort of crisis. It seems like it's a family issue that he's trying to tell you about with his family.
Interesting. Now, what I drew for Nilda, there we go, is the Scorpion card. Anytime you get the Scorpion card, Nilda, it talks about transformation. And I kind of know some backstory about Nilda, so it's kind of hard to pick up what I'm sensing or what's been told or the situation. But anytime you transform, I think this is more with regarding health wise that you're transforming into and out of. It also talks about I'm getting spirituality, that it's transformation for the better, and you're starting to see things and hear things, just like you said about the saying, about the whisper and so forth. And the candle was transforming to get your attention to let you know that you did hear what you heard. So it's very interesting. So hopefully it helps you out, Nilda. All right, next up, we will start with Teresa White.
All right, Teresa White. Let's see what we have for you. Okay, so the first rune I get is Burkana. So Burkana is very motherly. It's very protective. And I'm getting from this, I feel a very strong female, and it's as if you are the you are the very strong female. It feels like you're very bold or you're very outspoken. It's just like very upfront. The next rune I got is Kenya. So Kenya is the rune of intuition, the light, wisdom. Feeling from this is like you have an intuition there. You have a strong intuition of. It's like you get an inkling of things, and go with your gut and to trust it. That's what this rune is going. Like, pay attention to your intuition. Don't have to wrestle with it. Just accept your intuition. It feels like you may be wrestling it with a little bit, questioning it a bit. You don't have to. It's a great thing to do is to go with your intuition, because a lot of times your intuition is right. Okay, so the next rune I got is Iwas. So Iwas is the rune of travel, it's journey. It's also partnership, like traveling with somebody. This is supposed to be two horses facing each other. So I feel like you're always on the move. It feels like you never sit still. It's like you're moving constantly. It's like this is just how you live. It's like you always have to be busy with something and moving, in motion somewhere. That's what I'm getting here off of this. But trust the runes are basically the message that you do have a lot of feminine energy, a lot of really good feminine power, and part of that feminine power comes with intuition. Trust your intuition, and it's all right to just always be in motion. That's just how you are. There's nothing wrong with that. Stay in motion. That's where you're comfortable.
All right, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how to say that name, but welcome to the show. All right, I drew the card Saturn, and Saturn it talks about truth, and I think we need to go back to the board about truth and about make sure that people are telling you what is right and what is wrong is the truth. But also talks about more being truthful for yourself is what I'm picking up on, and that's very important. I think that you, Teresa, have been going through a process of, there she goes, about her tuition. Intuition, yes. And it is truthful what you're going through, but you got to be truthful yourself and turn over to God and ask God to help you with your intuition. I've been learning that, yes. And it's very important, Teresa. It really is. And you got a beautiful energy and soul. So thank you for letting us have the opportunity to read you. All right. Next up is Natalie.
Natalie. Hello, is there a message from Glenda to my husband Kenneth? Thank you. Okay, so let's see. Natalie Marsh, is there a message from Glenda to Kenneth? Let's take a look here. So we first asked a yes or no question. The first thing I get is yes. And this is Manas. This is the Rainbow Bridge. So I am getting a really strong yes that yes, she does have a message, and I feel like she is rarely going across that bridge from the spirit world to our world to talk to him. Okay. So the next room, this is Helgelas. So Helgelas is interference. It's it's the hailstone. It can be disruption, but it can also be transformation and healing from the past. And what I'm feeling from this is I feel like there's maybe a little bit of chaos there, but I feel drawn to healing from the past. So I really feel like this has to do with transformation and with a past, with healing from something going on that needs to be taken care of from the past. Right. So that could be resolved. It needs to be brought up and resolved. The next rune I got here is this is Ansus. So Ansus is wisdom. Okay, but it's particularly speaking wisdom. And what I'm getting here is that Linda has been trying to show, and what she's telling me is like she's been showing signs, right? She's been trying to communicate through signs, and for what she's trying to say, and it's very specific, and it's around your husband. But she thinks about what she's sending. So everything that she's sending has a symbolism behind it, a very strong symbolism behind it that you have to really dig for and has a connection to his past.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up is Chris L. Thank you for this live always. As a spirit playing with my mom's bracelet, if so, what is it, who is it, and what do they want to say? Thank you.
Okay, so let's take a look here, Chris L. Let's see if the spirit is playing with your mom's bracelets. Let's see if it's got a yes or no question out of the wind first. Is there a spirit playing with Chris's bracelets? Okay, so I got Sawilo, and that's a yes. Okay, so there is a spirit activity around that bracelet. I am feeling a female presence around that bracelet. Let me see what the runes have to say about the spirit. So do we have a name or an attention? Let's see, take a look here. So the first rune I got is Uru. So Uru is strength. It's also iron and the drizzling rain. Okay, this feels like a family member. Um, when I see that rune strength, it's coming across as a female that has a like strong connection to her in her past. So it feels like a female relative. It feels like a family member is coming through. That's coming through with her, is playing with her bracelets. With her bracelet, I should say. And when I see that Uru's in this case, when it means strength, it's like this strong connection. Like she has a strong connection with your mother. So this is somebody that she knew. So the next rune I got here is Kenya. So Kenya's is the rune of wisdom, guidance, and intuition, and that's the spirit world. Now the rune is saying that you, when it comes to intuition, that you may not be intuitive to the point where you're hearing and sensing spirits, but you suspect that something's going on. But this rune is coming through. And it's like, yes, the spirit is trying to hide that from you. Is trying to hide from you that they're there, and they don't want you to know that they're there. But this is a female that is coming through. Okay, and we can ask, is this your grandma Grant that's coming through? Let's ask a yes or no question, see what the runes have to say. Okay. This is a bit ambiguous, but this rune is I was. So I was is I should say, I was is the rune of death and regeneration and communication. So this is somebody that is communicating. Is it Grant? Or it's not giving me an answer. I'm going to ask yes or no. Let's see what the runes are giving me, yes or no. Is it Grandma Grant coming through? Okay, so I got this bridge. This is the man now, so the bridge of wisdom means man. And yes, it feels, yeah, feels like her. It's coming through. I finally got a yes answer. But she's trying to be a little bit sly about it, kind of be incognito that she's there. Simply because she doesn't want to feel like that you are intruding, or rather that she doesn't want to feel like she's intruding. She doesn't want you to get upset or anything, that like she's there in spirit and that you're going to be spooked by her. It's not, it's her, and she's I get the feeling that she's very like a type of woman that is like, oh, I don't want to interfere, I don't want to bother you, but it's just get that vibe from her. Okay, and let's see if there's any message that she has to say. The main thing, and I'm not even depending on the rooms, it just is it's the feeling that I get. The feeling that I get from her is that she is kind of a little nosy of what's going on, and she's just like to hang around and kind of watch what's going and try to figure out what's going on in the family. She still wants to be a part of the family, and so she's doing a little spying, but she doesn't want you to know that she's there because she doesn't want to be seen as someone that's intruding. So certainly you can always reach out to her. I mean, you can let her know. It's like, hey, Grandma, I know you're here and you're welcome. And, I'm happy to talk to you, and I'm happy to still include you. I'll let you know what's going on. And I'm sure she'll be delighted to hear from you.
Yes, absolutely. Read for me, please. What energy is that surrounds me during my meditation? It comes in with a fragrance. Ooh.
Wow, that's interesting. A lot of times angels will come in fragrance too, but then sometimes relatives do too. So let's see. So, and okay. So one energy. So let's first feel the energy. Let's go. Okay, Natalie says chaos transfer was abundant throughout this passage. I wish I knew how to read the signs. Okay, yeah. You can just ask your guys for help, Natalie, for how to read those signs. Because we're on this side and we don't understand. We don't know what's going on in Glenda's mind when she put those together, and she put a lot of effort into that. We got to get help to interpret them sometimes from our guides. Okay, so the energy that's around you when meditating. So the first rune I got is Iwa. So this is the rune of travel. It's the rune of the two horses facing each other. So the person with the energy that's coming through with the fragrance, I feel like they're a traveler. Like they're wherever they're coming, it's like they hear you on the other side and they're far away. And then when they sense you in the meditative state, they tune right into your energy and they come right up to you. It's just like they zip up next to you. If that makes sense, they're there all of a sudden. The next one I got you is Burkana. So Burkana is female, and I got that this is a female protector. So Burkana represents a protective goddess, a very motherly figure. So this is a protective female that is coming across. I'm trying to ascertain more about her energy. Okay, so she's there to help you in some way. Let's ask. Okay, so the next one I got is Feyu. So Feyu is money. It's a unit of money, but it's wealth. So yes, she's there to help you. What I get is like it's a very gentle feeling with her, and I keep seeing the color lavender with her. It's like I see a lavender color, like a light lavender purple color with her, and I see her in a very large dress and a hat, and she's showing me that she's okay. She's from a different time frame, but she is helping you. But what I feel like she's helping you with is to be comfortable in your, how can I say it? Be comfortable with your own thoughts and your experiences, and just tuning in and just enjoying the moment. And when you're in your meditation, I mean, that's you experiencing the moment. That's you tuned into the moment of breathing and increasing your awareness. She wants to help you with that. She wants you to recognize the moments of joy that you have when there's sunshine. Enjoy the sunshine. Pay attention and turn your attention towards attention to flowers. Turn attention to the good things that are around you, and don't let those moments slip by. That's what she's trying to teach you. You can bring that meditative state with you anytime you need it, and when you bring it in with you, enjoy that what's around you. Bring that higher awareness to pick out what's joyful in life, right? But the beauty around you that's with us all the time.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. So, what do you think about Spirit trying to talk to you and messing with Nilda's candle? What do you think that is?
Now, spirits, they love to mess with candles. I've seen candles act in strange ways. I really think that in the case of Nilda, I really feel like it was a tangible sign of communication there, and that there's going to be more to come, and that you're being tested as far as your reaction. So you saw that happen, and you know it was unexplainable, and you know it was from spirit. So next time something may be a little bit bigger, and might be something moving on its own, and maybe a disembodied voice, something like that. But they want to test you first to see what your reaction is before they bring in stronger communication for you, because they don't want to bring that type of communication in, that spirit communication where they're moving things around or having a disembodied voice, that type of thing, and having you be afraid of it. And if you're not afraid, then they'll come forward and do that more. Okay, and then I see that you're asking, could it be someone from my ancestors or it's someone else? Okay, so let's take a look here. Is this an ancestor of yours? Could be a past life. We'll just check it out. Let's see what the runes have to say. Okay, so no to ancestor. Past life? Yes. Okay. So this spirit lady is from a past life, not from a family line. Okay. And I'm just trying to ascertain. Let's just ask. I'm curious. Like, what was your relationship like in the past? Like, were you husband and wife, or your brother and sister, mother child? You know, who knows? Let's see. What do you have to say? Okay. So mother relationship. So feels like this woman in lavender. Feels like she was your mother in a past life. Okay, and I feel like you're yay high to her, at some point in life. Like, I keep seeing you as a very small child with you, and that's kind of how she sees you, because you'll always be her child, no matter what lifetime you're in. And she is still trying to teach you and help you and guide you and just be there for you. She just has such a strong love connection to you. Yeah. And anybody have any other questions? Oh, yeah, that's when you get the goosebumps. It's usually the spirit world that or your spirit or your higher self that hey, what you heard was just true. But yes, you can ask, invite or talk to her now that you know that's your mother from a past life, who is still making that strong connection and still loves you very much. I mean, you know now that you can trust her, and you can talk to her and tell her anything.
That's awesome. Well, you're all caught up. Do you have any other more questions? It's interesting to see people go through that, right?
Yes. I mean, the family bonds. I mean, the family bonds from the past lives that come forward. I mean, my Opa from my past life comes forward. My grandpa, and he's such a wonderful individual. You feel his presence, and he feels wonderful and supportive. And I just love to feel him around. And actually, I've talked to him through a spirit box. And I was here in Ohio and talked to him in Wisconsin for somebody else's spirit box. He was talking through that in German. and we had a wonderful conversation. It was wonderful. It was just an amazing moment.
Dow Dow's asked that a 3-year-old hear laughter coming from my bedroom Saturday.
Okay, let's ask down. Okay, did the child hear spirit laughter coming from his bedroom? Okay, so I got Kenya's yes. So it feels like the child has some good intuition, some good psychic intuition, and that spirit is
Yeah.
well aware of that, right? And they're picking up on that.
Swan asked, "Do you have any messages for me there, Angela?"
Linda Swan. Okay, let's take a look here and see these messages. And for spirit always has messages for us, so don't be surprised. So let's see what the runes have to say for Linda. So the first rune I got for you, this is land goose. So land goose is flow. It's also a leak, like a flow of water and a leak, which is a plant that a lot of the Viking and Norse peoples depended on. I got a message from this to never stop growing. Never stop growing. Like, don't stop. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. It feels like to me that you're a little bit tired of going and going and going. But this rune is saying keep going. No, don't stop. Keep going. Because what's next is Sowilo. Sowilo means success. It's also the lightning bolt. It's inspiration. And when I hear from this room, when I picked this up, I actually heard the word breakthrough, like breakthrough. Like your breakthrough comes through. And the next rune, Gabo. Gabo meaning gift. Okay. So as long as you persevere and keep going, you're going to have a major, major breakthrough. That's what the rune is saying, like literally breakthrough. Like you're not going to feel so stressed. You feel this relief. I feel a sense of, whew, that's over with. I don't have to do that anymore. I can rest now. I can enjoy things now. And then the last rune being Gabo, being gift, being yes, you get that incredible gift of rest, of joy, of actually feeling the sense of like, oh, that's over with. I don't have to do anymore. I'm done, and I can rest and I can kind of enjoy things now.
Chris says, "If it's time, I like to try to talk to spirit in my past life, like karma, like you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
heard there's a mirror crack in my mind. What is that, a good thing or a bad thing?"
Okay, and let me ask the runes about that, about a mirror crack in your mind. It's interesting too when he talks about that. Um, just saying when he talks about the mirror crack. For me, when I was shown a book, like my entire past life in written form as Frank Hoff, and the bottom of the page had a tear in it like a crack, the bottom of each page. So I think that just making a connection there, I think that's a common thing. That might be something that has to do with scarring or war or something of that interest. So let me take a look here, see what the runes have to say about a crack mirror. Let's say growth. Okay. So what the impression I got from this room is like that crack represents that a you had suffering, but you learned from it. You learned from it. So now it's like a scar, but you've learned from it, and now you're moving on from that. You're growing from that. The next rune I got is Urus, and Urus is saying, okay, we're going to have to go back and look at our past lives and actually look back and relive some of those memories and some of the worst things. It's going to take a lot of strength to go back and relive because I feel like there's some very, very strong emotions involved. But I keep seeing armor. I see armor. Um, I see like this looks like medieval time period because I actually see armor on you. Okay. So the next rune I got is Thorasos. So Thorasos is the rune of caution, okay, and boundaries. Uh, so I'm being shown that from this rune is that yes, you want to explore that past life, but you also don't want to get so wrapped up over it that it takes over everything. So make sure you can still firmly be in this life, but still just set aside, dedicate a special time, maybe every day or maybe once a week, to focus on that past life and doing some research on that, going back, revisiting those memories, asking for help from your guides on that past life in order to heal the karma that is now. But that you're willing to take that route, that's a very good step. And it can be very intense. I feel like you were upper class, and I don't know what you did, but I'm just showing you, it's been shown that this was the Middle Ages. You were somebody that was in a wealthy standing or wealthy status, wealthy enough to afford armor, but there was something that you did that was not a good thing in that position. But I have to leave that open because it's your past life to explore, and I don't know if you want that shared with everybody, but that's for you to find out and to see what you learn from it.
They have a question. I like to ask my dad, did you learn English? Prior message for him was learning English.
Okay. Okay, so let's ask, did he learn English? Okay. So yes, this is Iwa. So this is the rune of journey. So I just got that he took the journey of learning the language. So yes, he did learn, and it's wonderful that they have classes up there. And I kind of laugh a little bit, like, why? I mean, can I take some classes up there? It'd be like, it'd be wonderful to have classes up here while I'm still living my life down here. That would be great. We could expand our knowledge a bit. But according to him, yes, he did spend the time to learn English. He also advises he says he has a very good teacher. So there was an angel that was teaching him English. Um, but it was really personal. It was one on one, and that's the best type of teaching. Of course, you have that one on one. Said he had a very good teacher. You can ask. You can ask your father's English teacher to angel come and visit, and there's no harm in that. He has that connection with your father, teaching him English, and so that would I just imagine that would be a lot of fun. Somebody that's a great teacher and can make learning a new language fun.
Wow, that's awesome. Another hour gone by, Angela. What a fantastic show.
Absolutely, I love this, and Natalie's like, woohoo! Yeah, he learned it. So he had a really good teacher. So down now, and you're welcome, and everybody here, I want to thank you for coming, and of course sort of pay attention to what's going on around you, trying to be in that moment. And when you're in that moment of awareness, you may catch something from spirit or hear something from spirit. The next time you're on, you'll be asking me about what other signs that came across from your guides. But anything else before we go, or close up for then? Any other questions, anything for me?
No, everything's caught up. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in and from coast to coast around the world. Thank you, everybody. Godspeed.
Bye.